Hi and welcome to this video. In this video, we'll talk about how to design and build an invitation newsletter template in Outlook. Let's start with the design. I've prepared this file to make the video short. So this is a design of an invitation email template. Let's start with the main parts of the email template. We have a banner at the top, we have an introduction text, and then we have the event details, agenda, and contact, and at the very bottom we have the copyright. These are the most important elements and the most used elements in an invitation template. Of course, we can add more sections, more elements, but maybe it's better to keep it compact and not to confuse the receiver. Now let's talk about the width and the margins. The width of the email template is 800 pixels. It's recommended to keep your email templates between 600 and 800 pixels because it's better for responsiveness and readability. And the margins is 35 pixels, left, right, and here at the top of the banner. It's kind of a habit that I developed it with time. I use always 35 pixels and I know how to convert them to centimeters in Outlook because Outlook uses centimeters. So you can use your own margins, but for me, 35 works fine. Now let's talk about the banner. The banner has the same width of the email template. The height is 250 pixels. It's good to avoid a lot of scrolling, so 250 works also fine. You might have some clients who want less than 250 pixels, but in general, between 150 and 350 is okay. Now let's move to the resource of the elements, the imagery. You can find a lot of free imagery online, even for commercial use, like Unsplash, Pixels, and you can find also icons. You need just to Google and search for them. I used icons for the event details because it's the most important part of an invitation template. Here we have all the information about the event and the registration all at one place. And at the bottom, we have a contact person or maybe team. So in case the people have some questions, they can reach out to these people or to that person. I think that's all about design. Now let's move to building the template. And to build the template, we have two options. We have Word and we have the classic Outlook. You can build the template in these two programs. I said at the beginning Outlook, but Word has the same functionality like classic Outlook, so you can even use it to follow me. The new Outlook is a bit limited, so it's not recommended to use it for building those kind of complex templates. If you have like an easy template, just a banner text, you can use the new one. But for complex design, Word and the classic Outlook are much better. I'm going to use classic Outlook, and you can use Word or classic Outlook. It's up to you. Now let me open the classic Outlook. So this is my classic Outlook. We need to press on new email. Now let's start building the template. First, in building the email templates, we need to add a background. You can also work without background, but for me, I prefer it with a background. I'm going to give it a beige color. So this is the beige color. And then after that, we need to add a table. This is our first table. After adding the table, we need to go to table layout and to properties. We need to give the table 100% width. And then we need to remove the borders. But the table disappeared, so we need to activate the grid lines. We need to activate the grid lines to see our table. So now, as you can see, we can see the table. Let's go again to properties and give the cell some margins, because without margins, we wouldn't be able to see the background of the email template. I'm gonna give it 0.4 centimeters. And that's it. Now we need to add the other table, which is gonna serve as the body of our newsletter. Now we need to go back to table layout and to properties, and then we need to give our table a width. The 800 pixels is going to be 21.1 centimeters. And then we need to center it. And this is going to be our template. We need also to remove the border. We need to go back to table design, no border, and we need to give it a white background. Now let's go back to our design and just check how many rows we have in our designs. So we have a row for the banner, row for the text, row for event details, row for agenda, and a row for contact, and a row for copyright. So we have 6 rows. Now let's add 6 rows. We go to table layout and then we start with insert below 4, 5, 6. Now we have 6 rows. At the top, we don't need margins in the banner row. So we need to remove the margins in the banner row. We need to go again to table properties, cell, options, then uncheck this option here, same as the whole table, and give it 0. The footer is going to be an image. We also need to remove the margins here. Now we need to go back to our design to export the imagery. And then we need to export them as a PNG. Export assets. And now we have them all here. Let's copy the path and go back to our template. Now here we need to insert an image. I'm going to use the path that I just copied. And here goes the banner. The banner now is too wide, so we need to make it smaller. I'm going to give it also 1 centimeters. And now this is the width of the template. Now we need to insert the footer where the copyright is. Again, this device. I think I forgot to export the footer. Let's go back to the template and export the footer. Let's group the elements and go here, launch the export screen and export. Back to the template, picture, this device, and here we have our footer. Again, it's too wide, we need to narrow it. And that's it. We have now banner and footer. Now we need to copy the text. Let's start with a title or with a headline. One of the problems that you can't copy text from directly from Illustrator to you need to use another program or you need to use another option. For example, you can export the design as a PDF and then copy it from the PDF. I'm going to export it as a PDF. Save a copy as PDF. Seems that I did it already. Let's just open it and copy from it elements. So as you see, we need to add here margins and spacing within the rows. Let's highlight them all and go to table layout, properties, cell. And I'm going to add on the left side, this is going to be the 35 pixels. It's 0.95 centimeter. And let's copy it, paste in all other fields. But as you see, top and bottom 35 pixels or almost 1 centimeter is too much. So we need to reduce it. Let's go back and take just 0.5, which is half of it. And OK. I'm not sure why it didn't work. Actually, it's OK. Now, after copying the headline, we need to format it. So we need to make it bigger, 20. That's enough. We need now to copy the color. This is the color. Now let's change the color of the headline. And that's our headline. Now we need text. We need to change the color of the text. We need to add spacing after the headline and between the paragraphs. We can do it by going to this paragraph here, paragraph setting. As you see here in this area, we have this arrow pointing down. We need to click on it and we need to add 12 points. But because of the copy paste, you see each line is a paragraph. We need to fix this problem. We need just to press on backspace. And then this is the second paragraph. Actually, now I know what I did. I changed the left and right instead of the top and bottom, so I need to fix it. This is top and bottom. We need to make it 0.5. And as you see now, it looks much better. Now we need to add the background of this cell. We need to go to table design and pick up a color. So this works fine. Now we need to add these three columns. And because we are working in Outlook, so it's difficult to build it directly this way. We need to add more tables to achieve this design. Let me go back to Outlook. And now we need to add three columns. And we need to remove the border. And we need to add a new row, set below. Here we are going to add the icons, and at the bottom we are going to add the text. Let's start with the easy part, the text. It's just a lorem ipsum text, so now we need to add another table here in the top row with two columns. And we need to give the top row also some spacing. So let's go to table layout and properties, options, uncheck same as the whole table. We need to add a bottom of 0.3 centimeter. Let's remove the borders, table design. Now let's add our icon. The first one was date, so this is the first icon. It's also a little bit big. We need to make it smaller. And we need to make the cell a little bit smaller. And here we need to add when. We need to center it. And make the text a little bit bigger. I forgot the headline of the event details, so let us add it now. It's hard now to type before this table. So in order to do that, we need to do a cut here, cut this table. This is one of the tricks when you work with email templates. And now after pressing enter, now we are out of the table. We can now go back and add the table back, and we can here type the headline. Space is a little bit big. We need to remove the line. So now it looks much better. Now we need to copy this table and paste it here and here. So we need to replace now the image with the other one, or the icon with the other one. This is the place, and this is the register. Now we need to add the button to register. So insert. It's also too big. We need to reduce the size of it. So 4 centimeters is okay. Now let's remove the view grid lines to see how it looks. Yeah, it looks okay. Now let's move to the next section, which is going to be the agenda. We need first the title. This is the agenda, and then we need to add a new table with 2 columns. Let's go to insert table, 2 columns. Let's make the first one smaller. Let's remove the borders from the whole table. And let's turn on back the view grid lines. Let's check our design. We have time, topic, and we need this color also. So let me copy the color first. Let me add another 2 rows. And then here we go back to table layout, border. Here we can add the color, and we are going to make it a bit thicker, the line between the cells. Inside horizontal, here we can write topic, sorry, time, and topic. We can copy the style of this headlines here. We need to go back to message, format enter, and we can and here we can add text and text, and here time, Let's adjust the style of the text. We need to add a little bit spacing between them, top, bottom. So let's go to properties, cell options, and remove the left, add a little bit to the right, and add to the bottom two, top two. Let's see how it looks like. It's a little bit too much. Let's reduce it. One. This looks okay. Now let's add the contact section. We need again to go to table design, add a background, and we don't need to insert a new table. We can use just this table. This one here, maybe you can add these words. Maybe you can adjust the titles. And then let's copy the table and go to, first we need to add contact. Then the table. We need just to copy the style. So this is the contact. And we can extend it a little bit. Then replace the image. And that's it. We designed and built the invitation template, and this is how you do it. It's a very boring and repetitive work, I know, but after training or repeating these steps, you will feel very comfortable using Outlook and building templates. I'm gonna um, I'm gonna make this file downloadable. You can find the link to it in the video description. We can do a lot of fine tuning here and get into more details about the templates, but I don't want to make it complex and confuse you. This is a very easy way to build a template, and it's going to be responsive and look good on all devices. If you have any question, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.